Squad Pod. Squad Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world, brought to you by Sideline Sports Network. A lot of news, a lot of, it's now is the cuts when it comes to the NFL going here into the first week, next week. Ross's hat are getting cut. Your boy, we'll talk about that a little bit. That I know you were surprised.
Very.
Kind of caught you off guard with that news a little bit this morning.
Because I saw something and then at Vertiminci, and I was like, I'll check that in a second. And then when I eventually checked it, I'm like, we'll get to that.
But yeah, we'll talk about a ton of different NFL cuts, some other news in the NFL as well, heading into week one. You got some fantasy picks as well this week.
Wide receivers this week.
Yep, and of course we have our NBA news, which we're going to lead into first, since we don't really have too much as far as the NBA. And then, of course, the bias bubble and crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. But as far as NBA news, there's not a whole lot going on. But the Cleveland Cavaliers have agreed to a 1-year non-guaranteed deal with Taco Fall, who left Boston.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know he was a free agent.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland's not going to be doing much this year anyway.
Yep. We got some news I'll talk about the bias bubble as far as Cleveland. There's some other Bulls news involving Cleveland. But this is the biggest news that came out today. According to a lot of Philadelphia sources, Ben Simmons wants out of Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And he told Sixers management he will not report to training camp.
So he's gone regardless now.
Oh, my God.
It's a done deal. He's going to end up on Golden State. They're going to end up right back in the playoffs. It's going to be terrible.
It's exactly what we talked about a little while ago. They're going to teach him how to shoot. No better place to send him to teach him how to shoot is Golden State.
Exactly.
It's at that, first Wentz. Now, Ben Simmons, Philadelphia cursed right now. I don't hope that's it. Hope there's nothing else. Flyers had a bad season.
Jalen Hurts will learn in due time.
No, Jalen Hurts, he's fine. Don't worry about Jalen Hurts. He's only played 4 games.
Exactly.
And for as far as other NBA news, NBA will require all of its referees to be vaccinated going into the season.
Makes sense, especially since they have the power to make that decision over them.
Yeah,
being the workplace.
There were rumors about Kevin Love being bought out by the Cavs, and there was rumors connecting him to the Nets and all this. But Kevin Love has come out and said he has no interest in a buyout with the Cavs. He wants to chill. He wants to stay.
Interesting. See, because I thought that I saw rumors linking even the Lakers to him.
Yeah, I saw that too. And we talked about it even during the season where it just looked like he didn't want to be there, especially on the one play, really. But
he's just that.
Yeah, it looked like he wants out, but I was Cleveland's my home.
Yeah. All right, for now.
All right, man. And other than the referees, NBA team, arena, and personnel, whose role involves interactions with players and such as referees, will also be required to be fully vaccinated, including coaches, front office, medical equipment staff. Pretty much everybody except the players. They're not requiring, I'm guessing.
Right.
I haven't seen anything as far as the players at all, which I'm guessing they're just kind of letting it up to them at this point.
Right.
And ESPN's reportedly showing interest in bringing Draymond Green onto the staff as an analyst for the NBA.
He already was for TNT, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So they're already trying to book him.
He's gonna end up being off games, off season, stuff like that, the same way he is right now with TNT.
Yeah, and then once he retires, he's gonna be just on a panel somewhere, just Shaq sucking on him.
Exactly, probably on that panel.
Maybe on the TNT
Chuck.
panel. Yeah,
because Chuck's not gonna be there forever.
Yeah, true. Shaq gonna be there for a while still.
Yeah.
Dame came out and said, "I'm not leaving Portland right now, at least." That's all he said.
That's even more choppy than the last thing he said. So
I'm not leaving Portland. Not right now, at least.
Not right now, at least. Like, okay, what
For
about
now.
October? What about
Like this month?
December?
Like you stay at just this month, or how long?
It's like,
What's
I'm
the
not going to
timetable?
answer that question.
That's my personal business.
All right, well, I mean, now it's pretty evident he's going to be out of Portland eventually.
It certainly
Alex
is
was
starting
right.
to look that way.
Yep,
It's just a matter of time
right.
and the right offer, I'm sure. The last thing I have here is the Suns. I kind of showed you this before. The Suns introduced their Aztec uniform concept, a tribute to early ancestors of the Valley, Mexican and Mexican-American fans, and the warrior spirit we bring to battle every day. It's a super dope, like black and purple uni with like outlines of like different Aztec stuff, and it's awesome.
Right, I'll have it down here at the bottom, but that it definitely looks amazing. I can't wait to see the new jerseys that come out for all the teams this year.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the Bulls do. I know you Lakers like have some dope uniforms that you'd be coming out with. I don't know what you're gonna come up with next.
Yeah, who knows what they have coming this year? But another team is Brooklyn's been coming out with some really nice jerseys
Oh man,
too.
Brooklyn has been coming out with some nice ones.
So we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, but that's all I have as far as NBA. I don't know if you have anything, Vern.
Nothing really as far as the NBA.
All right,
Covered pretty much all of it.
nice. So we'll roll right into the things for the NFL now. There's a ton to talk about here. Cuts happened, but first, Jaguars officially named Trevor Lawrence QB number 1.
Surprise, surprise. They
It's
got rid
official.
of Minshew Mania. And right there, you knew.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's odd. I mean, the thing about this is you have this quarterback competition where you split reps this whole offseason, and then you just trade the competition away. And just like you could have had Trevor Lawrence taking all these snaps, these useful snaps this whole offseason.
Hey, I mean, they had to figure out if he's the guy or not.
I guess.
They had to figure it out.
I guess so. But man, if you taking him at number 1, you gotta be sure at that point. You would think.
You would think.
Urban Meyer, our new head coach.
Yeah.
Speaking of QBs, Broncos named Teddy Bridgewater starting QB going into week 1 here.
For now. QB1 for now.
There's some QBs out there.
There is some now all of a sudden QBs available.
New York Giants, Kyle Rudolph, tight end, is officially back at practice after having like surgery. I think it was on his ankle
Okay.
a little while ago. New York Jets, former Eagle Vinny Curry, is going to miss the 2021 season due to blood clots.
Damn, that's unfortunate. That's
Super
like isn't that what LaMarcus Aldridge just dealt with there, or something like that?
Yeah, I think blood clots.
Maybe
I think
not.
where it was Bosch.
Bosch.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah,
Aldridge, I think it
hopefully-
was like a heart condition or something.
Yeah. Hopefully he's able to recover there soon.
I hope so, man. He's been in the NFL for a while, got a Super Bowl. But yeah, hopefully he can come back, especially if he wants to play.
Right.
Bruce Arians out here being a savage once again. Head coach Bruce Arians said today that he won't allow his players, vaccinated or not, to leave the team hotel on road trips. He said they will be under the same protocols as last year. There's league rules, and then there's my rules.
There's league rules and then there's mob rules. Y'all want a Super Bowl or not? Hop
This is
on
how you get a
or
Super
get
Bowl.
out. Hey, honestly, I'm afraid they're going to end up winning it again this year. We'll see what happens. We didn't make any predictions yet, but we'll see what happens.
Not yet. Maybe I think that'll be for next week.
Yeah,
Leading
beginning of the season.
right before the season starts.
Right.
Packers plays wide receiver Devin Funchess on IR, and in a season he's done.
Damn.
This is like 2 years in a row, man, that he hasn't really played.
That sucks, man. That's really unfortunate because I really wanted to see them and Devonte out there,
Yeah. Luke Wilson is retiring, not Owen Wilson's brother, but the player Luke Wilson is retiring from the
Seattle.
NFL after 8 seasons. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he just sign and then he retired?
Yeah. Yeah, he just signed. There's a couple of them this year that sign, and then a little while after they sign, they're just like, you know what? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. I don't really want to do. They go through training camp or whatever. They're like, nah, I'm good.
Can't do this again.
Can't do this again. Broncos, after announcing Teddy Bridgewater being QB1, they said that Drew Lock, they have no intention of trading Drew Lock. They want to keep him on the roster. There was a lot of rumors going around, maybe about like Dallas is in need of a backup real bad. So I mean, there's some QB options out there as well. We'll kind of talk about that. But it's interesting. I know they want to have a backup, but if they're not planning on using Drew Lock going in the future, I don't know. I can see him maybe leaving after trading him after this season or something.
Yeah, like they're just trying to hang on to him for now. It's like Stidham.
Yeah, exactly. NFL sent written warnings to roughly 120 players league-wide and fined 25 players for refusal to wear a mask and or the Kinexon tracking devices since the start of training camp. All of the fined players were fined $14,650. Standard amount for the first offense in the NFL.
First offense.
Yes. And I mean, since there's a couple of them, there's a Cole Beasley. He was fined. He was sent. We talked about last week. He was not practicing. But the other dude that was also fined, and he had to go away for 5 days.
About it.
He tweeted about it, and then he ended up getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
He posted a pic of him holding the card and everything.
He's like, I'm good to go.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems like these fines are like making people like, fine. You know what? It's kind of like, I understand kind of their argument now is like, they're not making you get the vaccine, but man,
if you don't follow these strict protocols,
you ain't following all these rules, you deal with the consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of that here. A lot of teams that aren't already vaccinated start going up. Yeah, well, I think the
coaches are probably all. Yeah.
Or all now.
A lot of players are going to be getting caught hit with hefty fines.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of players that might be missing some games if they're not vaccinated, if they have to be out for 5 days,
Right.
Speaking of which, Carson Wentz put on the COVID report, not vaccinated, out 5 days. And this is sparking somewhat of a narrative, which I feel like I have like deja vu, because this is kind of the same narrative that was happening in Philadelphia. There was a couple articles written by indie reporters say the title of this one was Philadelphia might have been right. Carson Wentz is a selfish player, not a good teammate. Like indie media is already turning on Carson Wentz.
They've already turned on him.
Already, yeah.
Giving him a chance.
Yeah, the article says they were right in Philly. Carson Wentz is selfish and a bad teammate, but he's not alone in the Colts locker room. And like, dude, they're ripping him already. Season isn't even started. First, the ankle injury comes back, and now he gets COVID.
I don't think the future's too bright for him right now. At least not in Indy.
It's not looking good, and it's not even just him. There was a couple other players that went on the COVID list. Who's there was T.Y. Hilton might be out for the season now because he has a disc injury in his back.
Damn.
Yeah, Frank Reich says he's optimistic it's not season ending. Like, that's all he said. He's like, I'm optimistic it's not season ending. So he's out for a significant amount of time already, which begs the question: is Carson Wentz curse everywhere that he goes?
Yeah.
I feel like since he left Philly, we're kind of rebuilding again. So things are starting to look a little better. There's a little things here and there, media picks on, but it is what it is. But now, like, the Colts are falling apart, like, piece by piece, people getting hurt, people going on COVID, Carson Wentz getting hurt, getting COVID. It's wild, man.
Carson Wentz going to end up missing game time action because of this.
I hope not.
I think he will. Not like week 1 or anything like that, but throughout the year.
I think so at some point. That's not even just him, but just players in general around the NFL. I think we're going to be seeing some players, going to get positive test or something.
Exactly. It's unfortunate, man, but I definitely do agree with you. I think he's cursed. And he hasn't even been on the cover of Madden, and he's cursed. It's terrible.
Dude hasn't even played a legit, down in a Colts uniform yet.
Yeah, and he's already dealt with so much shit.
Maybe the future looks bright in Philly. We'll talk about that then. But maybe Wentz Maybe he was the key. Maybe like he was the curse pulling
Had to get
Philly
rid of
down.
him. He got you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did. Him and Nick Foles, both of them. Carson Wentz was instrumental in that Super Bowl run.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have had it without him. Speaking of that Super Bowl run, Steven Wisniewski, the left guard for the Eagles at that time, has announced his retirement. He's gone. Called it quits. He had a good career, though.
Congratulations.
Got a Super Bowl. Ravens. Oh, I'll save this. This is your Patriots news. Sorry. Andrew Luck quarterbacked a scout team offense out of Colorado High School recently. His first like public appearance.
He was the quarterback of the scout team.
Apparently, yeah, he quarterbacked the scout team offense out of Colorado High School.
What could it all mean?
And there's actual pictures of him in a locker room. Like he looks skinny as hell. He's just chilling in a locker room.
Still got the caveman beard.
Yeah, he got the beard, but like he's just chilling. He's super skinny now. But I don't know. Maybe he's getting
like,
that itch again.
You know, I'm thinking about comeback. Jim Irsay's like,
spend all this money. We're gonna have to pay Carson Wentz. What are we gonna do? Who's gonna trade for Carson Wentz now?
Somebody.
who can we trade Carson Wentz to?
Dallas.
Oh my god, dude. If Carson Wentz went to Dallas, it'd be the perfect fit for him. No lie, probably. Like, just like I could feel like he would fit in with Jerry Jones. They'd be buddies.
They'd be buddies.
He'd be like his Tony Romo, his new Tony Romo.
Oh, hey Carson, can I call you? Can I have your personal number?
We're gonna go hunting together, Carson.
He's like, I wouldn't trust you with a gun.
Like Dick Cheney out here. Jameis Winston has been named this New Orleans Saints starting quarterback going into week 1 officially, which begs the question: what Taysom Hill going to do? Is he going to be backup? Is he going to be the tight end? What's he going to do?
If he doesn't demand a trade, I think he's still going to be the gadget guy.
You think so?
Yeah.
Just come in on some plays, maybe a tight end here and there.
Might even quarterback some plays, you know.
And then after the season, he goes like, "I want out."
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's like pending him demanding a trade or forcing his way out of town.
Yeah. Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll said today, Pro Bowl defensive back Quandre Diggs isn't practicing because he's making a statement about wanting a new deal. Diggs is in the final year of his contract with a base salary of $5.9 million. So Seattle now has Dwayne Brown and Diggs wanting new deals.
Okay. So, I mean, they got to figure it out or something.
They got to do something.
Season's coming up.
So what you gonna do? Clock's ticking, Seattle. He's just chilling.
Ticking. Fines are racking up. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Now some Deshaun Watson news. We gotta talk about Deshaun Watson. A lot of stuff has happened in the past. It seems like keeps ramping up. It involves kind of both of us in a way. Your division and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Sources said teams have angled for pick protections in any trade regarding Deshaun Watson, even if they're coming up with the 3 first rounders and the 2 second rounders that Houston wants, but they want pick protection
in case anything happens.
In case anything happens, if you pending all the legal issues, and Houston's just not about it. They're like, no, like we're not giving up picks if anything happens. This is on you. This is your decision for what, like at this point.
You're trying to get him. Like you deal with the consequences.
You want him. You knew. But sources tell that the Dolphins are the front runner in trade discussions with the Texans, and they've been the most consistent. The Panthers, Broncos, and Eagles were also in trade consideration, but apparently Deshaun Watson isn't willing to waive his no trade clause for those teams. Apparently he's really interested in going to the Dolphins, and apparently the rumor out of Dolphins camp is like the GM and owner really want him. Like they really want to get him.
That's, if anything, where he's going to end up landing.
It's certainly seeming like it, but it's, it seems like Houston is just not budging on the 3 first rounders, the 2 seconds, and just that's it. Like they don't want to involve any, pick considerations.
Right. Exactly. I mean, they're losing a piece like Deshaun Watson, so they're trying to make sure they get at least some compensation back.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't say in there anywhere about them wanting Tua, but I would imagine they would want Tua or something in that deal.
That'd be interesting.
It doesn't say, because I mean, if Dolphins just don't care and they just give up that capital and they're like, all right, we're going to roll with Tua as the backup, or if Deshaun ends up sitting out or whatever, Tua will play.
Yeah, they're gonna need some type of option there as the backup.
Mm-hmm. There's quarterbacks out there, though.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, there's quarterbacks out there. And bad news for the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins suffered an ACL tear during preseason game the other night, and
Sucks.
it really sucks, man. Like,
My Buckeyes, man.
he had a strong year last year. You know, going in the second year, he was looking to be like one of the top backs in the league. But yeah, that's super unfortunate.
Hopefully, speedy recovery. Want him
Speedy
back in the
recovery.
league soon.
We talked about the Colts a little bit. Colts left tackle Sam Tevy out for the season with a torn ACL. Bad news. Wentz.
Damn, Wentz.
God dang it, Wentz. Thanks, Wentz. Or like that's like the new thanks Obama's. Thanks, Carson.
Thanks, Wentz. Of course, it's Wentz's fault.
The Texans are still, man, they still out here making moves. Texans traded pass rusher Shaq Lawson to the Jets. They just trading away assets.
Okay. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. He's pretty decent.
He is decent. So, I mean, it just seems like Houston's just getting anything they can right now. They're looking for a complete rebuild at this point. Vikings and all-pro safety Harrison Smith agreed to a 4-year, $64 million extension.
Nice.
The deal makes Smith the second highest paid safety in the NFL at age 32.
Damn.
Yeah,
I mean, he deserves it for sure. He's been killing it for years.
Yeah, man, for sure. So, I mean, he's going to be like the Tom Brady of safeties. He's going to be out here making bank and, you know, showing up on the field. Speaking of showing up on the field, another QB was announced for week 1. Ryan Fitzmagic.
Fitzmagic? He's a starter?
QB1 going into the season.
Okay.
They're getting behind Ryan Fitzmagic.
Good. That's good to hear. Even though Heineke is pretty nice, I would like to see more of what he can do. I'm glad they're getting behind Fitzmagic and letting him roll. You know,
yeah.
Let's see what
The
happens.
team hasn't really done that.
Hopefully they don't just pull
This
it.
is your team, man. Go ahead. Yeah, hopefully they don't pull him. Or if they pick up a certain QB that has connections to the head coach, that might be out.
That could change everything.
Oh man. First of many cuts this week. Lions have released wide receiver Brashard Perryman. He's a free agent now. Chicago Bears will listen to trade offers for QB Nick Foles, but they're not going to trade him to a team that he doesn't want to go to.
Okay, so they're going to be making sure they at least consult him. That's nicer than a lot of teams what they would do.
Yeah. Good guy, Nick. They're like, hey, man, you go where you want to go. I hope he doesn't go to Dallas, though.
I want to go to Indianapolis.
Oh, my gosh, dude. It seems like they could possibly use a QB this season. I was trying
I could go down there and just show them how I could do a little bit, you know. They might need me.
They might.
Hey, Carson, what are you doing?
Carson's like, damn. Not again. Hopefully he doesn't go to Dallas, though. I would be pissed Nick Foles go to Dallas. Source, the Bills are trading DE Daryl Johnson to the Panthers. A lot of trades happening. Especially, I feel like a lot more trades are going to be happening now that the rosters have been cut, too.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's trying to get their pieces together.
Exactly. I don't know why, but Andy Dalton's officially been named starter for week 1 by the Bears. Matt Nagy himself.
If Bill Belichick's got the balls to make the moves that he's making, why can't Nagy start Justin Fields?
I have no idea what Matt Nagy's doing here. I mean, we talked about how it's easier before. We talked about how easy it is to pull the veteran for the rookie and not the other way around. We're pulling the rookie for the veteran.
Yeah.
But, man, at this point, I feel like you got to just put the dude in. Put Justin Fields in.
We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be his last year here anyway.
Yeah, true.
Nagy's
the next head coach will start.
The next head coach will do a lot better with Justin Fields.
Former Patriot here. There's not really a lot of news behind this, but it has been announced. Malcolm Butler is dealing with a personal situation, and that he was mulling retirement, and he has since been put on Arizona's retirement list.
I saw that.
Yeah. So it seems like Malcolm Butler might be out.
So
He
I
might
mean,
be done.
kind of had that flare-up year. He was nice in Tennessee as well, but
He's kind of
seems-
fizzled out. He's
kind of fizzled
he's
out.
on Arizona.
I hope
But yeah, it seems like he's
everything's
dealing with-
okay as
Yeah,
far
it's
as
like a
the
personal
personal issue. Yeah, but
Yeah. So hopefully he's all right, man. I mean,
thanks for helping us win a Super Bowl.
yeah, he got a Super Bowl out there, made one of the greatest plays in NFL history at this point. It's repeated all the time.
I love it.
So I mean, he's
I
definitely
remember sitting on that couch, just being like, "Damn!" And then it
I
happened.
remember
and just,
watching that with you.
"Ah!"
I was ready. I was like, yeah, these Seahawks. I can't wait to see the Patriots lose. Tom Brady's gonna be so sad. And then bang, happiness.
Bang.
I'm just like, what the hell? Why didn't you run the ball? I was like every single other person watching the game that wasn't a Patriots fan, and they're like, why didn't they run the ball?
Why didn't they run the ball? Hey, I'm glad they didn't run the ball.
About that and the 27 or 28-0 shit. Like that's going
28
down
to 3.
28-3.
Y'all
Yeah,
were watching that game with me too, and I was just like,
exactly.
and I'm just like, starting to get hope slowly because I'm in the back of my mind. I'm like, I've seen this before. Brady's come back in these before, and then when it actually happened, I'm like, there's no way that should actually just happen, But hey, crazy
That's
shit
what
happens, man.
Tom Brady, man, legendary.
It's legendary.
Jaguars, they're sending former Eagles cornerback Sidney Jones to Seattle.
Okay.
Jones returns to an area where he shined in college. That was like Sidney Jones. He just underperformed for Philly. Went to, I think, the Panthers first, or he just went to the Jags. He did well, and then it seems like he's getting traded now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
nice in Seattle.
he's kind of got fizzled out as well. But Seattle, I can definitely see him kind of being used to his strength there.
Right.
They really need help on defense too.
Lord knows.
Running backs on the market. Saints have released running back Devonte Freeman after just signing him a couple weeks ago. Titans have waived running back Javian Hawkins as well.
See if Devontae ends up on a roster before the beginning of the season, but it might not be likely. He might be somebody people go after whenever they need pieces to fill in for injuries and stuff like that.
Exactly. He's going to be on a roster mid-season. It seems like I have a list of the free agents here to go over as well, but Todd Gurley's one of those running backs as well that doesn't have a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people were kind of expecting him to go to the Ravens after the J.K. Dobbins injury. And the Ravens apparently don't have interest in bringing Todd Gurley onto the team.
So I mean, we'll see what happens.
There's something going on with Gurley.
Them knees, man.
Them knees. Apparently, they must not trust it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas, who underwent off-season foot surgery, is expected to land on the PUP list, which he's going to be back. He's out the first 6 weeks, so he'll be back week 7 at the
earliest.
Yeah,
week 7. Damn,
yeah.
That's after the Patriots play them, I think. So
yeah,
that's okay with me.
Another player that's also on the PUP list, Packers left tackle David Bakhtiari. He's going to be on the PUP list. He was out. He got hurt last year in the playoffs. So it sucks to see that he's still not back yet. I know he's at the facility, training, doing all this. But, yeah, he's going to be back at the earliest week 7 as well. So, I mean, they're going to have to do something there at left tackle. Keep old Aaron standing up.
Coaches be running around like crazy anyway.
Yeah. Now, this is unfortunate, but due to the hurricane and that's hitting Louisiana and everything right now, New Orleans Saints are planning to be away from the stadium for the first quarter of the season due to everything that's going on because they can't get back to their stadium. They can't get back to do anything. And it's looking like they're probably going to be playing in Texas. They might be switching between Dallas's stadium and Houston stadium.
Which that's cool. At least that they can use their stadiums. It's just very unfortunate as to why.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see here. Bears release veteran cornerback Desmond Trufant. Raiders wide receiver John Brown requested a release, and the team granted it. They're like, all right, peace. So John Brown's a free agent. He's like, you know what? Get me out of here.
End up back in Buffalo.
I cut Cole Beasley, put John Brown on the
They're like, all right, Beasley, you're tired of your issues.
Now this could be the boldest move of the cuts here, and it belongs to the Lions head coach.
This crazy dude.
This crazy ass dude. Lions released both of their kickers today. Randy Bullock and Zane Gonzalez, leaving them without a kicker on their roster.
Bold
move.
A very interesting move there. I'm sure they have an option.
For a fourth down all the time.
They're either not worried about kicking it at all, or they're going to sign somebody before the season and just kind of rotate that, like I do with fantasy football sometimes. Like you sign a different kicker every week.
That's his crazy message. Is he's just like, y'all gonna be so good, y'all ain't gonna need a kicker. Like, you better not have to punt it. You gonna go for it. You
like, what about extra points? Be like, we're going for 2.
We go for 2 every time.
Every time. Like, coach,
the game's going. We just gotta get ahead of the curve. You think there's gonna be kicking in the next 10 years? I don't think so. Like, man, I think this guy's crazy. How'd he get his job? We're biting kneecaps out here, fellas.
Good luck to them.
There was rumors about the Bills potentially like moving their stadium or leaving, but it's now been official. The Bills proposed a new stadium that will reportedly be built by 2027.
In Buffalo?
It doesn't say. It says Buffalo Bills proposed a new $1.4 billion stadium with 60,000 seats and 60 suites. It doesn't. I'm assuming it's in Buffalo. It doesn't say the location, so I'm assuming it's in Buffalo. But yeah, they're looking to build a brand new stadium for Bills Mafia.
Done by 2027?
Done by 2027.
Okay, cool.
Doesn't say if there's going to be tables involved, if they're going to have tables to smash people through.
Probably an entire section dedicated to that.
Yeah, I'm assuming there will be.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers parted ways with a safety they just signed recently, Clinton Dix, to cut down to the 53-man roster. So he's a free agent. That's not a bad free agent out there, though.
Yeah, he'll definitely find his way on the team.
I definitely think so. And Urban Meyer might have found himself in some hot water here. This was news as of this evening. Already. Jaguars head coach at his press conference after the 53-man roster cut. Urban Meyer said his team considered players' vaccination status in today's final cuts. That's all he said, pretty much. That he considered their vaccination status going into the final cuts. And about an hour and a half later, the NFLPA commented saying that these comments have led us to open an investigation.
Urban Meyer's like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Shit.
We're supposed to just do it, not say it. I mean, I expected something. Like he's not really. I don't know. He's just not up to speed with everything as far
this
as
dude,
the
man,
media and the NFL.
I saw the quote and I couldn't believe it. It was like an hour later. There's like NFLPA is investigating the claims that Urban Meyer and the Jaguars are like took the vaccination status in part whenever they were cutting all their roster down. I was like, holy hell, man! Like that's something you can talk among in the house,
right?
Don't let that slip. What are you talking about? But that's all the news that I have that's not really bias related, because there's a lot of cuts and stuff to talk about as far as that. I did want to talk about something here. I don't know if you saw this about old legendary school Bishop Sycamore out here.
How did this even happen? Who is this dude that was the head coach? Did you see the address for this shit was like a duplex, like an apartment complex?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, for those who don't know, ESPN was tricked into broadcasting a game between IMG and an online charter school, Bishop Sycamore. ESPN couldn't verify who any of their players were in their scouting databases. Their head coach had an active warrant for his arrest. Most of their players are JUCO dropouts aged 19 or older. At least one player was using a fake name and lied about his recruiting. And Bishop Sycamore High School just doesn't exist and has no record of this existing in the OHSAA's history.
It's ridiculous.
They got duped.
They played 2 games within 48 hours.
Yeah, they played on a Friday and then they played on a Sunday.
Like how?
And they got mollywopped. It was like 58 to like nothing or something.
They played one of the best high school teams in the country, apparently.
Yeah. Like, how do you get tricked into this?
I don't understand it.
It's crazy. Like, this is shocking the sports world as of right now. Like, how does this even happen? And it's televised by ESPN.
Okay. I mean, shit, somehow it slipped through, but it's a little bit ridiculous. I hope that type of shit doesn't happen anymore. Like,
yeah.
How did this place even, like, come out of, like, I saw something about the students, quote unquote students, like, had to, like, steal from grocery stores and shit. Like, but I have no idea.
See that. Damn.
It just sounded like a whole bunch of shit. Like,
yeah,
it sounded like
that was wild. And it seems like every day there's another piece of the story that's kind of coming out about it,
right.
You know?
Exactly.
So I do have the list here I talked about earlier. We can kind of go over. It's the list of the top free agents available. Number 1 here is cornerback Richard Sherman is still available out there. He's a free agent. I know there was a lot of stuff that was going on, but it's been super quiet as far as the news on Richard Sherman. You know,
right?
There's no word on like any punishment from the NFL, but all they say is that he's a free agent. You know, there is no news about him being contacted recently. But yeah, we got Richard Sherman, tackle Mitchell Schwartz, David DeCastro, KJ Wright, Geno Atkins, Olivier Vernon, Le'Veon Bell, Quentin Dunbar, Jarrell Casey, Russell Okung, Trey Boston, Kawan Short, Todd Gurley, and Golden Tate.
Damn. A lot of big names still on that list, man.
Yeah. And I mean,
a lot of names that like you don't expect that would be free agents a week before the season starts.
Yeah, like Le'Veon Bell, man. Like,
right.
That's good depth right there for a running back, I would think. You know, I feel like a lot of these players that are out there, they would be like, I don't know if they'd be potential starters unless you're really needy.
Right.
But that's a heck like of a player to add for depth, you know?
Right. I mean, we'll see.
Except probably end up on a roster. I would probably start Richard Sherman.
Yeah. But I think, though, the majority of them will end up on a roster eventually.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely assume so. And the last bit of news I have here as far as the NFL, it's not really NFL related, but high school football coach Phillip Rivers out here had his first game the other day, and they won 49-0.
Mm-hmm.
They out here destroying teams.
He's teaching them well.
Phillip Rivers out here hype, doing interviews after the game.
He's like, man, I just feel like I'm in the NFL again. You guys, anybody got questions? Who's got questions? Like, he's just happy to have a camera and a microphone.
See all my kids out there?
I got 3 kids on the team.
3 kids on the team. But that's all the NFL news I have. We can kind of go. I know you got your top fantasy list here this week.
Yep. As far as wide receivers go this week for fantasy football.
This week.
Okay, we did quarterbacks, running backs already. Now we're on the wide receivers. Okay. So, number 1, I had Devonte Adams, especially with that Funchess injury. Aaron Rodgers is going to still be Aaron Rodgers, and somebody needs to catch those balls. Devonte Adams will be the full beneficiary of that, you know. Tyreek Hill at number 2, because Pat Mahomes is a monster, and Tyreek Hill seems like his confidence is growing. He's getting faster. He's trying to race Usain Bolt.
Yeah, he knows he can beat everybody at this point.
Exactly. So I feel like they've been working on things in the offseason that he's just going to let it fly. You know, as long as they can both stay healthy. Then here, very interesting. Number 3, Mike Evans.
Oh, okay.
Number 4, Chris Godwin.
Oh, okay.
I think they both have potential to be top 5 wide receivers this year.
Damn.
Just going to leave it at that. Mr. Tom Brady. Okay?
Tom Brady going to be slinging it.
it's a lot to do with their schedule. They have very, very, very favorable schedules and matchups all year long.
Okay.
Okay. So I threw them both on there.
Nice.
And then at number 5, Stephon Diggs, because Josh Allen and Diggs are just getting better and better. I think he's a solid top 5 wide receiver fantasy wise.
Definitely. Yeah, I no qualms about that list. That's a solid list you got.
Yeah. That's it though.
Okay. But yeah, that's all I have as far as football. Before we head into the bias bubbles, I don't know if you saw this, but a lot of notables' names were left out of like I think it's like the French Open. But Serena Williams says that she's out due to an injury. She's not like participating in one of the opens here. That's coming.
Yeah.
I think not Rafael Nadal said he's backing out as well. Like there's both of them, and there's a couple other like big names that are backing out. I was like, damn, like all of them aren't going to be participating. I thought that was crazy all at once, though.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird coincidence, but if they all got to like rehab or something, or for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we can just roll into the bias bubbles here, man. We got a lot of news to talk about. And I know you got your Patriots cuts. I got my Eagles cuts. So I mean, you go ahead, man, with whatever you want to talk about first.
Yeah. So I'll start with my Lakers because I don't have too much for that.
Okay.
They signed Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
To a 1-year, $2.6 million deal. So we got Rondo back. I just think about that picture where he's sitting there on the court. You know what I mean? Just like right after winning the championship. So Rondo back, Dwight Howard back. We're getting everybody back together there. You know, it's nice. Like it's looking really bright.
Together.
Looking really bright for depth and everything as far as the pieces we've been getting there. There's interest that DeAndre Jordan, after the buyout with the Nets, may come and join the Lakers as well.
How are you guys affording this?
I don't know.
Paying people under the table.
Gotta do what you gotta do to win a championship these days, okay? So that's what we're trying to do. Apparently, they have a slight interest in DeAndre Jordan. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. As far as my Patriots, I'm sure everybody who cares in the sports world already knows they cut Cam Newton.
Newton.
Cut him. Just cut him.
Straight cut.
Just cut.
You're gone.
You're gone.
Gonzo.
We don't even want any trades. We don't want nothing. Just you're gone. See ya. Get out of here.
Both
and
boys. Him and Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer got cut. Which doesn't make any sense to me. Now all we have is Stidham. Right?
I mean, maybe you'll bring Hoyer back after the cuts. You can always bring him back, like practice squad or something. Who knows?
It's wild that this offseason started with me being like, oh, man, we're definitely getting rid of Stidham. You know, he's gone.
Yeah.
And then look where we are.
There are 2 remaining. But that's kind of like we talked about with Trevor Lawrence, too, is like, you guys, I'm not speaking anything bad about Bill. I'm like, that dude's the greatest coach of all time. But like similar to this Jag situation, you guys split reps between Mac and Cam this whole offseason. And then, all right, Mac's the dude. Peace. Whenever, like, Mac could have probably got all them first reps this whole offseason to build.
He could have probably had a lot of first team reps, but also in the same situation, you got to see if he's that guy.
Exactly.
You know? And then he apparently impressed a lot during that joint practice with the Giants, where he was just tearing them up, just tearing the Giants up.
Maybe Cam killed himself by doing the misunderstanding COVID test.
And that's another thing. Like, do you think this was dealing with that because he's like Carson, like where he's not getting it, so he's a liability? If you know, we really don't want you missing 5 days. You know, like just
they were probably cool with it until that happened, and then you're like, yeah, we can't deal with this.
They're having flashbacks of last year. You know,
yeah,
it's just no.
Yeah,
see you.
Can't deal with it. Sorry.
Roll with Mac Jones and hope for the best.
Mac Jones, named QB1.
QB1, Mac Jones.
Crazy.
It's a new era in New England. Let's see how it goes.
I think this was going to happen. Patriots fans hype as hell now. It's Mac Jones season.
It's Mac Jones season.
Oh, you're not hype. I can tell. You're wary.
I'm very wary. I don't know.
I feel like you were super confident going into the season with Cam.
I was, because I knew what I had. I knew what the ceiling was. I knew what the floor was. With Mac Jones, it's a big question mark, and I'm uneasy. Okay, I'm very uneasy. But this is a little bit older news, but I think it was within this week here, is Sonny Michel was traded. Got rid of him.
Yeah.
Surprising, but Bill Belichick's making Bill Belichick type moves, just doing surprising shit, you know?
Yeah, they traded him to the Rams, and it's looking like he's going to get a decent workflow there.
Yeah, but especially with Cam Akers being out. So that was good for the Rams, at least. He's a great piece. And then Gilmore, you were talking about this today. He's going to end up in at least 6 weeks here, being put on the PUP list.
Yeah, I didn't know he was hurt that bad.
Like,
I didn't know
more or less just a
lingering issue. Oh, okay.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know it was that serious at first. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man.
But that's all I had there.
Okay. I had this stat from you guys. I thought that was pretty crazy. Last Patriots first round pick to get a second contract from the team was Dante Hightower in 2012.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, holy hell. You guys do not give second contracts to your first round picks often at all.
Exactly. To anybody.
So what we got here is talk about some Flyers news because it's pretty significant. We re-signed Sean Courtier. We extended his deal by 8 years. We gave Sean Courtier we signed him to an 8-year extension with an average an annual value of $7.7 million over 8 years.
Damn,
each year. So it's not even too bad. And he talked about he came back and he didn't want to break the bank because he wants to build a team to win a championship. He said, it's not about the money, it's about winning chips. So
and now he's locked in for years too.
Exactly. So I mean, that's dedication, man. That's work. That's committing to your team.
Okay.
That's all the Flyers news. As far as Bulls news, the Lowry deal's done. Lowry Markkanen is out of town finally. The Bulls, the Cavaliers, and the Trailblazers closed a 3-team deal sending Lowry Markkanen to Cleveland, Larry Nance Jr. to Portland, and Derek Jones Jr. And a first-round pick to Chicago. So we got Derek Jones Jr.'s and a first-round pick.
That's real nice
for Lowry. So, man, every single move's hitting so far this offseason for the Bulls.
That's a really good move.
We got a bunch of decent players, and we getting a first-round pick back. That's nice. I'm excited. And apparently we're really pursuing Paul Millsap at this point. We're trying to get him on the squad. We're looking for that veteran presence. I talked about how it was great to have Thaddeus Young. I wish we really would have kept him, but unfortunately they wanted him in a trade. So, man, if we can get Paul Millsap, that would be awesome.
Right. Good veteran presence.
Exactly. On to some Eagles news. My boy Nick Sirianni officially announced Jalen Hurts as starting quarterback today.
QB1.
He said, as no surprise, as you all know, Jalen Hurts got 100% of the first team reps this offseason. And he's like, I forget how he worded it, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, you guys knew this weeks ago, but he's the starter quarterback. He didn't officially announce it, but he's he's our starter quarterback, Yeah. It is what it is.
Now he has.
Yeah, he's officially done it now. Having said that, we did trade for old Gardner Minshew. We traded a 6-rounder for Gardner Minshew because we cut Nick Mullins. We dropped his ass because he sucked. But we traded a 6-rounder to get Gardner Minshew, which I wasn't bad at all because this dude can ball.
Yeah.
at points. So, I mean, I think he's going to be riding as the third QB this year because he does have I think he has a couple years left on his deal. So I think he's going to ride as the third QB this year because we're paying Flacco $2 or $3 million. So I think he's going to be the backup this season, unless something bad happens. And then next year, it looks like Gardner Minshew is going to be backing up for Jalen Hurts. So who knows?
Hey, man, you could have better or worse options out there.
Exactly. I'm comfortable letting Gardner Minshew behind. It's not like what was his name? I forgot his name. Nate Sudfeld after 1 year.
Right.
I'd much rather have Gardner Minshew than him in there.
Exactly. I agree.
And what's crazy is we traded him for a 6-round pick, and then today Eagles traded our offensive lineman Matt Pryor, who's garbage. Who it was looking, and reports are saying that we were probably going to cut him this offseason. So we ended up trading him for a 6-round pick. So we got our
2 6-rounders out of it. Or no, I got you.
Yeah, we got our 6th-round back for the Gardner Minshew trade. So we pretty much got Gardner Minshew for nothing at that point. And some notable cuts here. someone that I was surprised about, we cut Jordan Howard. I was expecting he was going to make the team. It's kind of expected that he might clear waivers. Actually, I don't know if he's going to be on waivers since he's kind of a veteran. But it's expected that he's probably going to be back on our practice squad at some point.
At some point.
Yeah. We cut Richard Rodgers, tight end, which I was surprised about because we just recently re-signed him. I'm kind of expecting him to be back as well. Now Travis Fulgham, we waived. He's gone now. Super surprising. I don't think he's going to get through waivers. I think someone's going to end up scooping him.
Yeah, somebody along the line needs a wide receiver help,
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised he got cut. I was surprised about Jordan Howard. And Craig James got cut. I was kind of surprised he got cut as well. And John Hightower, who was another wide receiver that kind of stood out. But these motherfuckers kept J.J. Arcega-Whiteside another year. Another year.
I mean, it is what it is.
They asked him about why they kept him on the roster today at the press conference as opposed to Travis Fulgham, and they said that he's excelled on like special teams, and they want to keep him around for special teams work. So I guess it kind of makes sense.
He's at least contributing in some facet,
Yeah, and he somehow had a great touchdown in the last preseason game. This dude is doing just enough every year to get onto the active roster, and then stinks it up.
He sticks around for the whole year. He's just high-fiving on the bench.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. If he doesn't do something this year, I could see him getting cut next year, give him a couple years. But I was very surprised JJ made the roster.
Yeah.
We also waived Kerryon Johnson, who reverted back to us after clearing waivers. We finally waived him. He's gone now. And it's looking like we're going to be extending Dallas Goedert here soon.
Most likely, especially if you cut the other tight end there.
Yeah, it's apparently Philadelphia is making a push to extend Dallas Goedert here, so look for him to get the bag here soon. And last bit of news I have here, good news, in fact, our offensive line rookie Landon Dickerson out of Alabama is cleared. He's been practicing now, and Rodney McLeod, our safety, he's officially back now.
Nice, so hell yeah.
Yeah, so they're both practicing for the first time this offseason. They haven't really given a status on what's going on as far as week one. Landon Dickerson's definitely not going to play just because he's pretty much the backup.
So young too.
He's so young. He's going to be the takeover for Jason Kelsey once he retires. Right. But Rodney McLeod, I'm hoping he can back to week one because we would really need him on defense. I'm hyped for our defense, but it would be even better if Rodney McLeod's able to play.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, man, that's all I have here as far as Eagles. I'm just looking forward to week one, man. Especially now that I know. I already knew, but it's official. Philadelphia's rolling with Jalen Hurts. I didn't have it here on my list, but I watched the press conference today, and they asked Howie Roseman about Deshaun Watson, and they just said, he kind of gave a no answer about it. He's like, we're comfortable with the QBs we have, and we're comfortable giving Jalen Hurts the keys to the team. So it seems like they're rolling with him, man. It seems like they're back in Jalen Hurts finally. So I'm excited for week one, man. Bring on the Falcons in the next week.
Bring on the Dolphins and the other Alabama quarterback.
Mac Jones versus Tua Tagovailoa, or however you pronounce the last Tua T.
I'm excited. I am very excited, but I'm super skeptical. So we'll see what happens. I know it's going to be very run heavy, but we'll see what happens.
And speaking of your Patriots and Dolphins, the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast this week has to do with your division. The last time that every team in the same division started a QB 25 years old or younger and their season opener was 1973. And that was the AFC Central with Terry Bradshaw, Ken Anderson, Dan Passeroni, and Mike Phipps. And that's happening this year with your division.
Yep, because Josh Allen's the oldest quarterback in the division at 25.
Yep, Josh Allen, Tua, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson. So you got super young bulls out here.
Whole new era out here, man.
Whole new era in that division.
Oh, man. It's scary having a question mark on everything.
Man, I think you just, I don't know, there's a huge question mark on the Jets. I just don't see them being that good this year.
No.
You just not worry about them damn Dolphins and them Bills, mostly the Bills. But
Week 1, we got them Dolphins, man. We'll take them down. Week 1.
old Mac Jones, we'll see what he's made of.
Yeah.
But that's it this week. That's the show. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter at SquadPodSports. And next week, we'll be heading right in. We'll be talking about our previews for the first game of the season. Kind of giving you our previews, our maybe predictions for the games leading into the games.
Early Super Bowl predictions, maybe.
Super early Super Bowl predictions as well, predictions for Week 1 games. I couldn't be more excited, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep. Hell yeah, me too.
Yeah. So until next week, we'll see everybody later. Peace.